Hi, everybody. My name is M.Gummerson. I'm a forensic psychology major at Arizona State University, class of 2024. Welcome to my presentation on guardianship. Okay, so what is guardianship? Guardianship is the delegation by the state of authority over an individual's person or estate to another party, like a third party. There's different types of guardianships, and I wanted to include some important facts. One of the more popular types of guardianships we often hear about would be conservatorships or committees. These are guardianships that oversee healthcare decisions of an individual or manage their estate when a person is deemed unable to make decisions. Like, for example, if you have a grandparent with advanced Alzheimer's and they're not able to make decisions for themselves, a representative of the family might be appointed as their conservator, and to make decisions on their behalf per the statutes of the guardianship. Another fact would be with guardianships, general or specific guardianships. General guardianships, that's when there's total control over the person's estate, whereas specific guardianships target a certain part of the overall conservatorship. Like, let's say maybe it's just for medical decisions or just for financial decisions. Some other important facts about guardianships. Obviously, guardianships must include an appointed guardian. It wouldn't be a guardianship if it didn't have the guardian. Guardianships mark some of the oldest tenets of mental health law. I believe the term in the book was ancient that was used. So this has been around since the start of mental health law, very important and part of the foundations of taking care of mentally ill legally. Another important fact about guardianships, limited guardianships, that is another term. It may control decision making by a person deemed incompetent due to mental health conditions, or advanced age. However, it's limited and it may allow for other types of decision making. Like maybe they're okay with their finances, but might need conservatorship or guardianship over their health decisions, and vice versa. I think it's great we're talking about guardianships, but we can't get too far into it without talking about how to actually make one happen. Okay, so when setting up a guardianship, there's certain things that we have to think about, like what type of guardianship is needed or warranted. Will this be a full conservatorship or a limited guardianship type scenario? We also need to determine the reasons behind the need for a legal guardianship. Is there a legal petition for guardianship and clinical evaluation in the legal file of this request? I also want to continue this with there needs to be some type of direction toward the willingness and volunteering of the recipient of the guardianship. Like, is grandma on board with this? Has the individual been deemed legally incompetent to handle their affairs? Another thing would be who gets appointed a guardian. Like appointing the guardian. Who is it going to be? People will choose a relative, friend, family representative, an attorney. Back in the day, it used to be the oldest male in the family would make decisions like that. But nowadays, it really can be anyone that the family chooses and trusts. You'll also be determining what responsibilities the guardian will have, and you're going to talk about advance directives and have that all put into legal writing so that there's no questions by anyone outside of the guardianship on how it's being handled. So there's some really important points to make, if you will, about competency to make treatment decisions. Okay, so this would include requirements for informed consent, disclosure, competency, voluntariness, the right to refuse psychoactive medication, research, very important, on informed consent, disclosure, competency, voluntariness again, the evaluation of competency to make treatment decisions. All of these are vital. So when talking about guardianships in popular culture, and this is straying a little bit from our text, I wanted to bring up the case of Britney Spears since it was very public. Britney Spears was the subject of a very publicized conservatorship in which her father, Jamie, was given total control of her assets and medical care due to alleged mental health issues displayed by Spears that deemed her legally incapable of handling her own affairs. The conservatorship was reversed in 2022, and that was also very public. Another very popular conservatorship that was in the news was that of Amanda Bynes. Amanda Bynes was another celebrity placed under conservatorship by her parent, actually her mother, in 2013 after multiple inpatient psychiatric holds, severe mental illness, and concerning behavior. Like, she lit her apartment on fire. Her conservatorship was lifted in 2022, but sadly may be reinstated soon due to a decline in her mental state and subsequent mental health inpatient commitments. Okay, I've included a really great video that explains guardianship and conservatorships from the Volunteers of America. I'm putting the link right here. I'm not sure if YouTube is going to allow me to let you click right onto the video below, but if not, if you go to my resources page or in the comments under the upload description, I will have the link there for you all to take a peek at. So my question for everyone today would be, and this is an important question, is in guardianship and in conservatorships, what can we do to support the person in question whose competence is being evaluated? What can we do to support them so that they don't feel that they're being stripped of all their livelihood and made to feel like they are stupid or cannot handle their affairs? What can we do to make sure that that person feels supported and that the person who is the guardian is acting with them and not against them? Okay, everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my presentation and listen to me tripping over all my words. I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the resources that I used for this presentation, as well as some references. I also did obviously utilize course materials. Okay, so I have our textbook listed, Milton et al. It's our first listing. I also went through quite a few videos understanding guardianship because me personally, I didn't really understand guardianship myself. So I looked through a bunch of different videos. I do believe that Volunteers of America put out the best video in under 5 minutes, in my opinion. So I included that there. It was retrieved from YouTube. I also have cited the two articles written about both Britney Spears and Amanda Bynes. I included an additional article by Correndian about Britney Spears. It's explained by a probate attorney. I added that in there for you all to take a look at, only because it gives a timeline of how this whole thing transpired. And I really feel like when we can relate modern events to the stuff we're learning, it helps us actually understand it from a bigger picture perspective. And lastly, I wanted to, I'm sure you guys noticed I put cute little photos of happy old ladies in here. I dedicated this presentation to all the strong, funny, courageous old ladies that never allow age to define their sense of grace or humor. I think as we all get older, we start to worry about things like guardianships and what's going to happen to me if I can't make decisions for myself. So I did want to include some happy portraits of aging, because there's a lot of joy that we can find in our circumstances as we age, despite legal situations we may be put in. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I look forward to all your feedback. Thank you.